Tonight on the America's Car-Mart Football Report, it finally comes down to the week all of Class 7A has been pointing to really since May, the Buck James Bowl between Conway and Bryant. Aside from all the outside factors, it'll decide the 7A Central Championship. I'm David Wallace. The final week of the regular season brings a lot of other conference deciding matchups as well. Numbers 1 and 2 in Class 6A, Greenwood and Little Rock Christian, will decide the Central. Arkadelphia welcomes Malvern for the 7-4A title, and Walnut Ridge makes the short trip to Hoxie for the 3-3A crown. Several others are critical for playoff seeding, and we'll talk about them all. It's the great weeding out, as most teams in the state will close out their seasons. Only the best go on from here. Hang on, the America's Car-Mart Football Report starts now. The high school football season just seems to get shorter and shorter every year. I can't believe we've already reached the end of the regular season. Barry Grooms joins me in a moment for analysis on the key matchups. Bates Yoakum edits and produces the America's Car-Mart Football Report. Thomas Thrash is the executive producer. If you're listening on Friday, keep in mind we're taping this before the 19 games scheduled for Thursday night. They'll be sprinkled in amongst all our picks. Well, let's get going with Class 7A, and the Hootens.com rankings entering top 10 go like this. Conway, unbeaten, and number 1. In fact, the Wampus Cats have been that number 1 team for 2 months now. Fayetteville is unbeaten at 9-0, and the 7A West Conference champion. The Purple Dogs are number 2 this week, followed by another West team, Bentonville, at 3. Bryant hasn't lost to an in-state Class 7A team in more than 5 years. The Hornets are 4th and heading to a showdown with Conway. Bentonville West is 5th, followed by Rogers at 6th, then Fort Smith Southside. Cabot is 8th, and the Panthers will finish 3rd in the 7A Central after beating Fort Smith Northside last week. Then you have Jonesboro at 9 and North Little Rock at number 10 as the Charging Wildcats head to the playoffs with a losing record going into this week at 3-6. Well, we correctly picked all 8 games last week. Let's get to the Week 10 picks. And it starts with the big game in the 7A Central. Number 4, Bryant at number 1, Conway. Hootens.com likes Buck James' current team over his former team. Conway is picked in this one. Number 8, Cabot at home, a favorite over 10th-ranked North Little Rock. Hootens.com going with number 9, Jonesboro, also playing at home to beat Little Rock Central. And Little Rock Southwest is a favorite over Fort Smith Northside, that game in Little Rock. Now to the 7A West, number 2, Fayetteville, welcoming Harbor. Hootens.com likes Fayetteville there. Number 3, Bentonville at number 5, Bentonville West, going with the Tigers of Bentonville in that one. 6th-ranked Rogers is a home favorite over Heritage, and Hootens.com picks number 7, Fort Smith Southside, to win at Springdale. A lot of big games there in Class 7A, Barry. What stands out to you?
Well, David, of course, Bryant-Conway matchup. We've waited for 5 months for this day, and it's come to fruition. Bryant has won 6 in a row after losing to the number 1 ranked team in Class 5A, Little Rock Parkview. Mytorian Singleton, Jordan Walker, they're the leaders and playmakers on that offense, and the Hornet defense is fast and playing very well. Conway unbeaten under first-year coach Buck James. Donovan Amalo, Chris O'Neill, they headline that offense. And Conway's defense has scored touchdowns in 3 of the past 4 games. Bryant players will be jacked up, but Conway has Buck James on its side. Should be a good one, and maybe not the only time these two teams meet this year, David. Also, we've got Bentonville West. The winner gets the number 2 playoff seed, a first-round bye. Both teams desperately need it right now because they're riddled with injuries.
Yeah, that's a good call, Barry. We may see a Bryant-Conway rematch at War Memorial Stadium in about a month. Let's check now on Class 6A and run down the Hootens.com rankings. The first 5 are the same from last week. Greenwood unbeaten at number 1 after an impressive win at Pulaski Academy. Then Little Rock Christian at number 2, a showdown this week. Benton is number 3, followed by Pulaski Academy at 4. Marion is 5. West Memphis moves up 1 spot to 6. Then Little Rock Catholic dropping 1 to number 7. Searcy moving up 1 to 8. And Greenbrier seesawing down 1 to number 9 after getting blown out at Little Rock Christian. Mountain Home rounds out the top 10. Well, Hootens.com got 8 of 9 picks correct last week. Let's keep that streak going with the 6A East, where third-ranked Benton welcomes the Sheridan Yellow Jackets. Rivalry game favors the Panthers there. Number 7, Little Rock Catholic. At number 5, Marion. Marion is locked into the number 2 playoff seed no matter what happens. That gives the Patriots a first-round bye and a home quarterfinal round game. Little Rock Catholic must win to finish as the number 4 seed, and Hootens.com believes they will. The Rockets are favored there. 6th-ranked West Memphis goes to number 8 Searcy. The Lions have won 9 of the past 11 meetings in this series, but Hootens.com likes West Memphis this time. El Dorado is a home favorite against Jacksonville. Greene County Tech at home, likewise favored over Sylvan Hills. In the 6A West now, number 1 Greenwood faces number 2 Little Rock Christian. This is the game of the week in this classification, and Hootens.com thinks the Bulldogs are too much for the Warriors. Number 4, Pulaski Academy, favored to bounce back as the Bruins go to Lake Hamilton. Number 10, Mountain Home is a road favorite at number 9, Greenbrier, and Hootens.com is picking Van Buren, which welcomes Siloam Springs this week. All right, Barry, tell us about that big matchup, 1 versus 2.
David, these teams have split their past 4 meetings. The winner this season gets the outright 6A West Conference Championship number 1 playoff seed, home field advantage throughout the playoffs. The loser is the number 2 seed and has to travel to Benton in the semifinals. This features 2 of the top 3 scoring teams in the state, 2 of the better defenses in Class 6A. Should be a great game in Sebastian County.
Let's take a break. We move on to Class 5A next on the America's Car-Mart Football Report.
All right, David, can't wait for kickoff. Man, it's time for some football. I'm Chad Hooten for America's Car-Mart. If you're headed to the game, just remember that America's Car-Mart is all in for Arkansas high school football. And when you shop at America's Car-Mart, they're all in for you. From purchase to payoff, Car-Mart will work with you and your individual situation. It's personal for Car-Mart. Just go see for yourself why Car-Mart is different from all the rest. You can stay connected by following Car-Mart on social media or online at car-mart.com. America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road and good neighbors in our communities. Coming up next, more from the America's Car-Mart Football Studios. David Wallace and the Hootens crew with more rankings, analysis, and predictions next on the America's Car-Mart Football Report.
Not all college ends with a bachelor's degree. There are shorter-term programs that help students get to work in a profession they love. Best of all, Arkansas needs qualified workers in these high-demand fields: healthcare, industry manufacturing, and information technology. There are scholarships such as Arkansas Workforce Challenge and Our Future that will help pay for classes. Apply today at scholarships.adhe.edu.
Okay, I gotta pick up some beef for the cookout. Now what's good?
Let Tony make the call.
Tony Romo? What are you doing in a butcher shop?
Just something I picked up in the off-season. What's up?
I'm on my way to a barbecue. What should I bring?
Steaks, hamburgers, brisket?
Are those my choices?
That's your order. Beef is the best way to make your cookouts extraordinary this summer.
Thanks, Tony.
Another satisfied customer. All right, who's next? Beef. It's what's for dinner. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers.
This ad is courtesy of Beef. It's what'sfordinner.com.
We're back, and next on the docket is Class 5A. Let's run down the rankings on Hootens.com. The top 8 remain the same. Little Rock Parkview is the only unbeaten team in Class 5A and ranked number 1. Mills is now 1 win away from capturing the 5A Central title, and the Comets are ranked 2nd. Valley View, the 5A East champion 4 of the past 6 years, is 3rd. Then you have Shiloh Christian at 4, Pine Bluff at 5. Hot Springs checking in at number 6. 7th-ranked Joe T. Robinson still has a chance to win the 5A Central. Southside is 8th. Harrison moving up 4 spots to number 9, and Farmington also up 4 spots into the top 10 at number 10. Hard to do, but Hootens.com picked all 16 games in 5A correct last week for an 85% rate on the season. Now Week 10 predictions. First, the 5A Central, where number 7, Joe T. Robinson, goes to 5th-ranked Pine Bluff. Hootens.com picks the Zebras at home. Momel is a home favorite over BB. Number 2, Mills welcoming Valonia. Hootens.com going with the Comets. Whitehall at home is favored over winless Watson Chapel. Now to the 5A East, number 8 Southside is picked to beat Paragould. That game in Batesville. Brooklyn, a home favorite over Forest City. Hootens.com likes number 3 Valley View over Batesville. That game at Valley View. Wynn welcoming Nettleton in a big game for playoff positioning. Hootens.com likes the Yellow Jackets of Wynn. All right, Barry, before we go on to the South and the West, tell us about some of those games.
David Joe T. Robinson at Pine Bluff's a big one. The winner's going to get at least the number 2 playoff seed. Could earn that number 1 seed with some help. Joe T. Robinson, they've won 6 straight league titles. Pine Bluff hasn't won a conference title since 2017. Hootens.com, though, thinks Pine Bluff is the more talented team. And then Wynn, Nettleton, the Yellow Jackets must win to make sure they make the playoffs.
Now to the South, where number 1 Little Rock Parkview welcomes Camden Fairview to War Memorial Stadium. Hootens.com picks the Patriots to finish out the regular season unbeaten. Number 6 Hot Springs is a home favorite over Hot Springs Lakeside. You've got Texarkana going to DeQueen, a winless team on the year, and the Razorbacks should get their 6th win of the season. Magnolia is another road favorite, traveling to Hope. Now to the 5A West, where Hootens.com picks number 4 Shiloh Christian to go to Alma and get a win. Number 9 Harrison is a road favorite at Pea Ridge. Hootens.com picking Farmington also on the road at Prairie Grove. And another road favorite, Dardanelle. The Sand Lizards, traveling to Clarksville, are favored in that one. All right, Barry, how about playoff scenarios in the 5A West?
David, you still got about 3 teams that can win a conference championship. Lots of things can go on. Farmington can be the conference champion. Shiloh Christian can be the conference champion. But the team that controls its destiny, not even ranked in our top 10, Alma. Alma gets a conference championship with a victory. But the Airedales face Shiloh Christian, so that's going to be a pretty tall task. And then, hey, Dardanelle at Clarksville. Dardanelle couldn't even field a team last week. They had so many kids out with the flu.
Yeah, and Alma got the benefit of that, Barry, as Dardanelle had to forfeit to the Airedales. All right, we move on to 4A in a moment.
Okay, David, sounds like some great games this week. I'm Chad Hooten with Hooten's Arkansas Football for America's Car-Mart. And just like all the hard-working high school football players, the folks at Car-Mart work hard to keep you on the road. Car-Mart knows that buying a vehicle is a big decision, and that's why they take selling you a vehicle very seriously. When you shop at Car-Mart, they're there for you. Car-Mart cares about you and your vehicle ownership. You know what? You can save time at the dealership by starting your car buying journey online at car-mart.com. It's America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road. That's their pledge to you. And coming up next, more from the America's Car-Mart Football Report Studios. David and the Hootens gang with analysis of more matchups and those crystal ball predictions. Next on the America's Car-Mart Football Report.
Going to college may not look the same as it has before, but you have the power to move forward. There are over 1,000 hands-on or online programs in Arkansas designed to put you to work, and they qualify for state scholarships and grants. Healthcare, education, computer technology, industry technology, and more. Take your next step forward. Visit explorearcareers.com with instructions about how to apply.
We're back in the America's Car-Mart studios. America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road. And let's move on now to Class 4A, where the top 10 on Hootens.com are the same from a week ago. Malvern right there at the top, number 1. Warren, the 8-4A champions, are unbeaten and ranked number 2. Third-ranked Harding Academy is the 2-4A champion, unbeaten and really untested this year. The Elkins Elks, another unbeaten team at 9-0, and the 1-4A champions are number 4. Rivercrest at 5, and the Colts play for the 3-4A title this week. Arkadelphia is 6, followed by Ozark at 7. DeWitt is 8. Nashville stays at number 9 after pushing Malvern, but losing last week. Heber Springs stays at number 10 after getting blown out at Harding Academy. 20 of 22 correct. That's good enough for 91% a week ago. Let's move to this week's picks in the 1-4A. Number 4, Elkins, traveling to Lincoln. Elkins has mercy ruled every 4A opponent this year. Best year in a long time for the Elks, and they are picked in this one. Number 7, Ozark, is a road favorite at Huntsville. Berryville at Green Forest. Now, Berryville has won 16 of the past 22 Carroll County feuds, and likely will win this one. That's the pick on Hootens.com. Gravett is a road favorite at Gentry. Now to the 2-4A, where number 1 Harding Academy is 9-0 and on cruise control. The Wildcats should get a blowout win over Cave City, that game in Searcy. Number 10 Heber Springs, having lost to Harding Academy last week, bounces back at home against Riverview. And Stuttgart is a road favorite at Bald Knob. To the 3-4A, where number 5 Rivercrest entertains Blytheville. The winner gets the conference title. Hootens.com thinks it goes to Rivercrest. Pocahontas a home favorite against Highland. Gosnell goes to Jonesboro Westside and is favored. And Truman is the pick at winless Harrisburg. Okay, Barry.
David, Heber Springs host Riverview. Heber Springs going to finish as the number 2 seed 1 year after missing the playoffs. Riverview has lost 3 consecutive games by a combined 114-24. We've got a big title game in the 3-4A. Rivercrest hosting Blytheville, but Blytheville just lost last week to Pocahontas. And then Gosnell has beaten Jonesboro Westside 19 of the past 21 meetings. The Pirates need a victory and some help to get in the playoffs this year.
Okay, Barry, continuing, we move to a conference that's as wide open as it gets, the 4-4A. Literally, there are about 20 playoff scenarios, just about every team still vying for a playoff spot. Bauxite traveling to Harmony Grove Haskell, and Bauxite is picked there. Lamar at Central Arkansas Christian, pair of teams with identical records at 7-2 and 5-2, and Hootens.com likes Lamar on the road. Clinton is a home favorite over Dover, and Mayflower is the pick, playing at Hall Steam. To the always volatile 7-4A, where number 1 Malvern goes to Arkadelphia for the conference championship. This is the Class 4A game of the week, and Barry will tell us more about that. But I'll tell you, Hootens.com picks the Leopards of Malvern on the road. Number 9 Nashville welcomes Lone Oak. This is a non-conference game, and Hootens.com picks Nashville there. And Mena is the home favorite over Waldron. To the 8-4A, where second-ranked and unbeaten Warren is a favorite at Hamburg. Hootens.com picks number 8 DeWitt to win at Dumas. And McGee, a road favorite at Helena. Monticello entertaining Crossett, and Hootens.com is picking the Billies. Okay, Barry, the rest of 4A for us.
Got a big showdown in the 7-4A in Clark County this week. David, Malvern at Arkadelphia. As you said, Malvern is our pick to win this game. The implications are the winner gets the 7-4A championship number 1 playoff seed. Arkadelphia has won league titles 3 of the past 5 years, and the Badgers haven't lost a conference game since week 5 of 2021. But get this amazing stat, David. Defending state champion Malvern hasn't won a league title since 1997 when Harold Harris played for the Leopards. We got another one. Waldron at Mena. The winner gets in the playoffs as the 5 seed. Mena has beaten Waldron 27 straight times. Hootens.com says make it 28.
Thanks, Barry. All right, everybody hold up 4 fingers. We're heading to the final segment of this America's Car-Mart Football Report.
All right, David, getting a little closer to kickoff. I'm Chad Hooten for America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road. It's America's Car-Mart, and they will do all they can to keep you on the road. America's Car-Mart makes it easy to buy. They offer affordable, quality vehicles, low down payments, plus optional service contracts to offer a little peace of mind. And if you're credit challenged, America's Car-Mart is the place for you. Affordable used vehicles with low down payments, flexible payment plans. It's America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road. And coming up next, it's more of the America's Car-Mart Football Report.
Not all college ends with a bachelor's degree. There are shorter-term programs that help students get to work in a profession they love. Best of all, Arkansas needs qualified workers in these high-demand fields: healthcare, industry manufacturing, and information technology. There are scholarships such as Arkansas Workforce Challenge and Our Future that will help pay for classes. Apply today at scholarships.adhe.edu.
Hey everyone, it's Tony Romo, and I'm here to remind you that it's grilling season. And how do you make those summer cookouts extraordinary? With beef. Whether you're slow roasting ribs or throwing a couple of hamburgers on the grill, some top sirloin kebabs, or, wait, what was I saying again? Oh, yeah. Set your grilling season on fire this year with beef. Beef, it's what's for dinner. For more ideas, visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers.
This ad is courtesy of Beef. It's whatsfordinner.com.
Glad you've stuck with us. Let's move on now to Class 3A and look at the Hootens.com rankings. Numbers 1 and 2, Boonville and Prescott, respectively, have both won their conferences, both won seeds in the playoffs. Number 3, Harmony Grove, Ouachita County, is followed by 4th-ranked Charleston. Then you have Salem. The Greyhounds are 5th after beating Perryville to win the 2-3A. Hoxie is another unbeaten team at 9-0, and the Mustangs are 6th. Mansfield is 7th, and Walnut Ridge at number 8. Glen Rose wrapped up the 4-3A last week, and the Beavers check in at number 9, followed by Newport at 10. Hootens.com got 17 of 19 picks correct last week. Let's see about this week. In 1-3A, up in northwest Arkansas, number 1, Boonville at home is favored over Cedarville. Hootens.com is picking 4th-ranked Charleston at home over Lavaca. 7th-ranked Mansfield is a road favorite at Hackett, and Westport gets the call at home against Greenland. Now to the 2-3A, where 5th-ranked Salem trying to make it 10-0, and Hootens.com thinks the Greyhounds will do so with a win over Quitman. Number 10, Newport, is a road favorite at Perryville, and Atkins going to Melbourne also is the pick in that one. In the 3-3A, number 6, Hoxie against Walnut Ridge. This is a key matchup, and Hootens.com likes the Mustangs at home, and Osceola is a home favorite over Manila. Before we go on, Barry, how about some analysis on those?
Lots of playoff implications in these, David. Quickly, Newport at Perryville. The winner gets the number 2 seed. Hey, Perryville was just playing for a conference championship, and the Mustangs actually led Salem in the third quarter of that game before losing by 10 points. But Hootens.com picks Newport to get the victory. And then Walnut Ridge at Hoxie. Should be a great game. Hoxie beat Walnut Ridge by 1 point last year. Expect another close one. The conference championship's on the line, and Hootens.com likes Hoxie.
Now to the 4-3A, where 9th-ranked Glen Rose entertains Magnet Cove, and Hootens.com picks Glen Rose at home. Bismarck welcomes Center Point, and the winner gets the number 2 playoff seed in the 4-3A. Hootens.com picks Bismarck. Jesseville at home, a favorite over 2 Rivers. Hootens.com going with Paris playing at Danville. Now to the 5-3A, where the favorites are. Number 2, Prescott at home over Horatio. Junction City on the road at Gurdon. And Smackover at Falk. The Buckaroos get the nod. In the 6-3A, number 3, Harmony Grove, Ouachita County is favorite at Barton. Fordyce is a road favorite at Lake Village. And Hootens.com picks the Rising Wildcats at Drews Central. Anything you want to point out on those, Barry?
Glen Rose, Prescott both have conference championships sewn up. So does Harmony Grove, Ouachita County. An interesting thing out of the 6-3A, David. Rising started the season 0-7. The Wildcats have won 2 straight games and will get the number 3 playoff seed with a victory at Drew Central.
Let's check out Class 2A, and the rankings on Hootens.com start with unbeaten Mineral Springs at 9-0. Bigelow, another unbeaten team, 10-0, checks in at number 2. Then Carlisle at 3, Hazen at 4, and those two match up in a climactic game this weekend. EPC is number 5, followed by Conway Christian. Murfreesboro unbeaten at number 7. Mark Tree at 8. England moves up 1 spot to number 9 despite losing a close game at Carlisle. And Cross County is up 1 even though the Thunderbirds lost to Mark Tree last week. All right, Hootens.com did pretty well in Class 2A as well, picking 11 of 12 correct last week, and for the season, 83%. In the 1AA, Conway Christian, favorite at Magazine. Hootens.com is picking Mountainburg at Johnson County Westside. Now to the 2-2A, where 10th-ranked Cross County at home is favored over Earl. Clarendon goes to Mariana, and Clarendon is the pick there. Number 5, EPC entertains number 8, Mark Tree. The winner of this one gets a top seed in the 2-2A. Hootens.com picking East Poinsett County. McCrory at Des Arc, another rivalry game for these two schools. McCrory is already qualified for the playoffs. Des Arc can finish anywhere from second all the way to out of the playoffs with a loss and a cross-county win. So the Eagles will be focused, and Hootens.com is picking them to beat McCrory. To the 3-2A, where number 1 Mineral Springs plays at number 7 Murfreesboro. The winner getting the 3AA title. Mineral Springs picked to win. Mount Ida at home, favored over Dierks, and Lafayette County a home favorite over Foreman. To the 4AA, where number 4 Hazen faces number 3 Carlisle. Barry will fill us in on details. but I'll tell you that Hazen is the pick. Baptist Prep at home favored over Episcopal, and England at home is the pick over Hampton. All right, Barry, how about that Carlisle-Hazen matchup?
David, this is one of the state's bigger rivalry games. These two schools separated by just 11 miles. For years, Carlisle dominated this series, but Hazen beat the Bison twice last season, once for a conference title, another time for a state title. It could happen again this year. Hazen playing great defense. The Hornets' only loss came early this season to Des Arc. Carlisle's only loss came to Cross County early in the season, and the Bison had a lot of injuries in that game. This will be a great atmosphere. Hootens.com picks Hazen at home.
All right, David, getting me ready for some football. I'm Chad Hooten of Hooten's Arkansas Football for America's Car-Mart. Did you know, just like this America's Car-Mart football report is on more than 20 stations around the state, Car-Mart serves over 20 communities in Arkansas. They're a different kind of car dealership. Their commitment to service and excellence is second to none. And when you buy from Car-Mart, they do everything they can to get you into a quality used vehicle and keep you on the road until payoff. They offer shorter contracts, lower interest rates, and low down payments, a flexible payment plan. Car-Mart will work for you. Check out some of their vehicles online or start your buying experience at car-mart.com. It's America's Car-Mart. And coming up next, more of the America's Car-Mart Football Report.
Going to college may not look the same as it has before, but you have the power to move forward. There are over 1,000 hands-on or online programs in Arkansas designed to put you to work, and they qualify for state scholarships and grants. Healthcare, education, computer technology, industry technology, and more. Take your next step forward. Visit explorearcareers.com with instructions about how to apply.
There you go. We wrap up the regular season of the America's Car-Mart Football Report with this show. But we're back next week, and we'll be with you throughout much of the playoffs. As always, you can find scores of all the games as they're going on with the high school scoreboard at Hootens.com, powered by First Security. The video feature on the First Community Bank Scholar Athlete of the Week focuses this week on Cabot punter Samuel Dubwig, a 4.33 GPA student. So until next week, for Barry Grooms, I'm David Wallace. We'll see you at the stadium.